Last year's season was crazy, right? Bubble season. We weren't sure if we were going to have a season, but boom, it happened.
Aerial Powers. Powers on top. Especially at 19 in game one. Powers steps back, plays the big good rotation.
And then you see the late closeout because of the overhelp to the block.
Getting ready through training camp was a must because everyone was on lockdown for COVID. We went to Bradenton, Florida, and that's where the journey began. It was crazy because I was doing so well in the first few games. I think I might have played like 5 or 6 games, and then boom, New York happened. And I remember the first incident, I think I went up for a shot or something and rolled my ankle real bad.
It was kind of a consistent contribution from her. He said he's seen sort of a spark with Jasmine Jones and Liana Odom where there might be a little more fluctuation with them, and it looks like Aerial Powers is down.
Boom, I went down, and when I went down, I was like, I still want to play, went in for halftime, got it taped up, was like, I'm a warrior, let's get back. And then, big injury. I went up for a layup on a fast break and got pretty much slammed. My feet was taken from under me, and I landed on my back and pulled my hammy, and my coccyx bone was moved and pulled a little bit of my butt too. And then that's where the recovery period started for me. Physically, when you injure yourself, of course, it hurts. But mentally is where you need to hone in to. What I mean by that, mentally when you have an injury is, can I get back to the same person I used to be, the same player I used to be? Am I gonna be 100%? And I've been through a lot of injuries, Achilles, quad, hip, labrum tear, and it's always mental. So when I went down on my hammy, the first thing I thought was, not again, right? But then I'm like, okay, let's get focused, let's get ready, let's stay engaged with my teammates, give to my teammates, and also give to myself. Don't put myself down. How do we get back to being 100% Aerial Powers? So that's where the real work started mentally, and then I just kicked butt in rehab, and as I continued to do that, I got better and better, and now I'm ready for this year and to get another championship. So instead of staying in the bubble and trying to get back for playoffs, because games were like every other day, I ended up going back home and starting rehab ASAP to get ready for the next season, because my free agency year was coming up, big time for me. I wasn't sure if I was gonna sign back with the Mystics or not. It was a lot going on, and it was my first time. And I feel like if anybody's in a situation, you go into free agency looking at it all, you know, because you never know exactly where you might want to end up. And that was where at least I felt. My heart was all over the place. I love DC, I love the fans, I love my teammates, but I wasn't quite sure for the next 3 years if that was going to be my home. I was able to talk to a few coaches in the WNBA. They hit me up, you know, everybody talking about how I could be on their team, add to their team, et cetera, et cetera. But the only coach that really stood out to me and I really had a connection with was Cheryl Reeve. If you guys don't know about her, winningest coach in the WNBA, lots of championships, really, really competitive mentality, which I love. But we just connected on a different level. I was able to talk to Coach Reeve. We talked through offensive, defenses, and then we just talk as people. And she's a really good people person. And really, she just drew me here to Minnesota. And also, you know, I started talking to some of the teammates too, just getting a feel for her, getting a feel for their culture. And that's really where I'm like, okay, this is where I want to be. Also, you know, I wasn't really quite sure where the Mystics were going to end up as far as our team. I know a lot of girls were up for grabs or going to be up for grabs. There's a lot of little stuff happening within the actual team as far as who was going to be there in the next few years. In the next few years for me, it's like that's where I want to make my stamp. That's where I want to call my home. And I ended up coming here. for Minnesota. I'm actually known as the energy player, and that's what Coach Reeves and a lot of the girls have talked about, me bringing that energy.
Aerial Powers is a player who, you know, we've limited a little bit more, but when she's on the court, her energy is unreal. She likes physicality, as you saw there, like being at the rim, taking a hit, and she's our height player. And so we're anxious to get her ready for Friday's opener.
I've always been positive with the energy, you know? Every now and then, like any other person, some days are better than others, some days are worse than others. But for me, you know, the coach asked me the other day, "What, you a morning person, you a night person?" I'm like, I'm an all-day person. Like any time of the day you see me, I have this energy. People ask me where it comes from. I just think it's kind of how I grew up. My mom is like that, my dad's like that, my brother's like that. We always just have this energy about us. The whole thing of me getting my teammates hype, I get hype. It's just how I grew up. It's just in me. It's just in me. It's always been there, and it's never going anywhere. And I'm glad to be known as the energy player, because you never want to be the energy vampire, right? You never want to suck anybody's energy. I'm all about giving energy, and I also feel that it bounces off of each other. So if you feel my energy, if you're sad, or you don't feel like, you know, you need a pickup at least. You need a pickup. When you feel my energy, all of a sudden you smiling now. And I love that. I love to see people smiling, and I love to know that it's because of the energy that I'm giving off. It's funny that you asked me about goals that's going into the season. I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting serious right now because they ranked the top 25 players and I wasn't one of them. I think I should be one of them. I know in this career, my career path and my journey, which I wouldn't want to go any other way than my path that I've been on, I've been injured. So I haven't been able to show them fully what Aerial Powers is capable of. But this year I will. And after I do show them this year, I'm definitely gonna be in the top 25, no cap, no cap. So that's one of my goals for sure. The second one is being consistent. No great player is recognized without that. You have to be consistent. You have to show up every game day, ready to hoop, and get out there to your teammates. So that's another thing, being consistent. 3, everybody says this, but only a few achieved it. I got one under my belt right now. I want another one. I want another championship. I want to bring it to Minnesota, bring it to the Midwest. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. We need this. So that's my third thing, championship, baby. Without further ado, Lynx fans, let's get it. This is the start to our journey to a championship. I'm happy to be here in the Twin Cities. I'm ready to get a championship with y'all, and I'm ready to see y'all in the gym, man. Kobe, get out of here, let's go. Listen, man, I've been getting ready. My calf was a little tight, but Chuck got me together. I'm gonna be a little winded out there, so I'm gonna really need y'all voice. I'm gonna need to feed off y'all energy, okay? Let's get this first dub against Phoenix. Let's go.